thank you. How are you?
I am doing well. I'm so excited because we just have an incredible amount of people here, amazing students here, some teachers, parents, and they're all here for our friend.
I bet. I mean, I think he's pretty excited too. He hasn't really been able to sit still today. So this is our blue-tongued skink, guys. So you can tell he is a lizard, right? I mean, look at him. He's got that classic lizard shape with that triangle head. Those
He's squirming. He's ready.
little legs and that lovely, lovely tail. These guys do originally come from Australia, but he is part of the skink family, which means there's 8 different types of skinks. And so they live between Australia and New Zealand, and I believe they even said New Guinea. So this guy here, you might think with his colors that maybe he's a desert animal, especially since we're talking about Australia, right? But he actually lives in grasslands. And what native Australians love about this guy is when they do farming or gardening, this little guy here will help keep the pests away because these lovely colors help him blend in to the dirt.
Well, we have a lot of shout outs for our friend here today. And we have a ton of friends just saying he is so cute and that they want him.
Oh.
I agree. And our friend has a name.
Does he?
Yes, he does. I call him Ben.
Oh, I
Since
did not
I met
know
him,
that.
I call him Ben. He just looks like a Ben to me. What do you guys think? What do you think we should name our blue-tongued skink here? Go ahead and put your suggestions in the chat box.
I think Ben is a good name. He does kind of have a Ben face.
Can you tell us about his eyes?
His eyes are red. I honestly don't know why they're red, but I would imagine that it might be for the same reason that his tongue is blue. So he hasn't stuck out his tongue yet, so you guys haven't been able to see just how blue it is, but scientists think that his tongue is blue to help scare predators away, because some of his predators would be birds, snakes, sometimes humans, but when he gets scared, he'll kind of like puff up this whole area, drop his mouth, start hissing, and stick his tongue out, okay? Now, we're humans. We know that sticking our tongue out is a little bit impolite, but with him, it helps give him a chance to scare the other animals for just a second so he can run away. I would imagine that his eyes would be part of that act, because how many animals can you think of with red eyes?
Great question. Not many at all.
Exactly. Not unless they have a lot of, or a lack of melanin. Melanin is the thing that gives us color. And that's actually the thing that makes his tongue blue is an excess of melanin. That is what gives him the dark spots here is melanin. When humans tan, that's melanin. So,
well, we have suggestions for names here. We've got Speedy, we've got Benjamin, which I agree, you know, Benjamin. Ben is short for Benjamin. I'll take it. We've got Crawler. I like it. Maybe his name is Benjamin Speedy Crawler, and we call him Ben for short.
I like it. Write it down. It sounds good. I think people would agree with that, because the moment I put him down, he will definitely try to speed off here.
And I want you guys to start adding your questions to the chat box. What questions do you have about this creature? And I do have a question right now. I notice on the side of its face, it looks like a hole.
You're talking about this right here, right?
Yes, I am.
So that is his ear hole. He's got another one on the other side. So with those ear holes, it's very much like our ears, where it helps us hear things. So he can hear if a predator's coming, if some of his favorite insects are coming, because he is an omnivore. Do you remember what an omnivore is, Explorer Grace?
I sure do. An omnivore eats plants and meat. They eat both.
And meat, exactly.
Herbivores eat specifically only plants, but omnivores eat both.
Exactly. And so the meat that he likes to eat is insects. So that would make him an insectivore with that part, but he does eat plants. That's why he's considered an omnivore. And we're also omnivores, but we don't eat bugs, right? Well, some people do. Yeah. And it's high in protein.
We have questions for you.
Oh, yes.
All right. What does Benjamin Speedy Crawler, what does he like to eat other than insects?
Plants. He loves eating plants. That's why he's really good in a garden too, because not only will he help clear out those pests, but he'll also help kind of keep the crops kind of in control too, because he'll only eat a little bit of that.
And how long is his life expectancy? How long do we expect him to live?
About 20 years.
Did you guys see that tongue? That was awesome. About 20 years.
About
Excellent.
20 years.
Oh, he's starting to stick out his tongue for us. I
He's
love
like,
that.
Stop it. Stop touching my chin.
Does Ben live indigenously in Las Vegas as well as Australia?
No, that is a wonderful question. He is not indigenous to Nevada. We do have some animals that look similar to this, but we don't have any skinks here. That's a good question.
Can he harm you? We see you holding him. We see you loving on him, but is he dangerous?
So, like with any animal with a mouth, he could potentially bite me, but he's not venomous. If I were to, for some reason, bite him, he is not poisonous. So really, it would just be the pain of getting bit.
Well, I have a question. You said 2 words, venomous and poisonous. Is that different? What is
They
that?
are different. It has to do with how a sort of toxin gets into your body. So a venom has to be injected into you
How do you unmute?
either by a bite or
Are we unmuted? What are you trying to do?
and a poison has to be ingested. So it has to be eaten.
Why?
It has to be drunk. It has to be inhaled.
You have a question.
So that's why I said if he bites me, it's fine because he won't get me sick that way. He's not venomous. And if I bite him, I won't get sick because he's not poisonous.
Excellent. Thank you for explaining that, Explorer Krysan.
Oh, of course.
Do we know how old our Ben is?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know if we know how old he was when he first got here, but we've had him for about a year now. So he's probably like 1.5 years to 2 years.
And has Ben ever bit you before?
He has not. As far as I know, he's not bitten anyone. The worst thing that he's ever done to anyone is pee on them. So I'm not really worried about a little bit of urine.
Love that there. And then I also have a friend who's actually letting us know, some rats have red eyes. You had asked that earlier.
So some rats do, yes, and those are typically either albino rats with white fur, or there's also white rats with pink eyes, which also look red. But that has to do with that lack of melanin again. So good job with that.
Excellent. Okay, Explorer Krysan, we want to know, is he full grown?
He is full grown. He is about the 15 to 17 inches that he should be.
Excellent. And so are there ones that are larger in the wild?
With skinks in general, yes. But for blue-tongued skinks, that 15 to 17 inches is the average.
Okay, excellent. Excellent. And are we able to tell if this is a male or female?
Unfortunately, no. Blue-tongued skinks do not have sexual dimorphism, which is that thing that tells us if it's a boy or a girl. Think of like peacocks, where the boys are very, very pretty and the girls really aren't. That would be an example of sexual dimorphism. But he doesn't have anything like that. Boys and girls look exactly the same for these guys.
Wow, interesting. I have a friend asking, why exactly is his tongue blue? Could you explain that again?
So scientists think that his tongue is blue because there are a lot of animals that prey on him. So he is a prey animal for a lot of different animals. So when those predators come up and get really close and he gets really scared, he will drop his mouth open, start hissing, and stick out that blue tongue. The blue tongue is such a vivid color that it kind of shocks the predator for a moment, long enough for this guy to run away.
And do you ever take him home?
No, our animals here at the museum do stay at the museum, although I have to admit I would not mind taking this guy home. I don't think my cats would like it though.
And if I were to care for him at home, what would I need?
Oh, you would definitely need a large enough enclosure, so a big enough cage. You would need heat lights. You would need regular lights to kind of create day and night, unless you have them near a window. But if you have them near a window, you have to make sure that it doesn't get too cold, because these guys are cold-blooded anyways, which means they can't make their own heat. That's why you need those heat lamps, so that he can stay nice and healthy. You would also need some sort of little like hide, so that he can kind of get away sometimes. Oh, are you starting to get lazy on me here?
Would he let you show us his belly?
You know what? I could try. I could try.
Let's see if he'll let us. Ah,
Belly, belly, belly.
his belly is definitely lighter. I noticed that.
Yes.
Looks a lot smoother.
Definitely.
And we have a friend asking, what are his predators? Who's coming after him?
So there are a lot of different things. Definitely lots of different snakes. Some birds, especially a bird called the kookaburra. If you don't know what that is, I highly suggest that you look it up, because not only are they super cool looking, but they also make super cool sounds. Like I said, some people, dogs and cats especially, in populated areas near like the farms that we were talking about. So there's a lot of things that would try to eat this guy.
And why does he have the stripes that he does?
That would help with camouflage there. So you guys remember, camouflage is blending into the environment in order to hide either from predators or prey, right? So remember, this guy, he lives in like grasslands, and he likes to hang out in gardens. So if he's got this coloring here, that helps him blend in with the dirt, so it's harder to find him.
Excellent. And I just have to give a huge shout out to this group. You guys are doing such a great job using the chat box to communicate and put your questions in there.
And they're asking wonderful questions.
They are. What a fun group you guys are today. Absolutely. All right. This is your chance, friends, to ask any last minute questions that you have. What do you still wonder? What do you still wonder for Explorer Krysan before we let Mr. Benjamin Speedy Crawler go back into his home? Oh, you want to know where he lives in the museum? We can show you his habitat.
Yeah, we can do that. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and we'll start bringing him over there. So that way you guys can also see how we kind of put them back in when we're done. Because it's not like we just like throw them in. Right?
Now, one friend is asking, does he move on your hand? We see him kind of like going on your hand there.
He is definitely a crawler.
Showing you some of the other creatures we have here at the museum. All right.
This is our blue-tongued skink's habitat. So you notice we've got some rocks in there because those absorb the heat from the heat lamp. So it gives them a nice area to bask, which is like if anyone's sat outside trying to work on their tan, that would be kind of like basking. Remember how I talked about having like a little hide? There's one of those right over here. So he can hang out in there if he gets a little scared. He also has his food dish in here. He gets fed in here. And then when we put him back, we try to support him.
And what do we feed him here at the museum?
He definitely gets lots of little salads. He also gets bugs like crickets, and I think sometimes mealworms, because mealworms are nice and fatty and lizards love them.
Excellent. Oh, see, he's crawling right to the back there.
He's like, ooh,
yeah,
it's warm.
He's going back to the warmth of that heat lamp there. Yeah. Very good. So this is how he operates in his regular environment here at the museum. Thank you for answering that. I saw that question come up in the chat box of, how is he different from other lizards? What makes him so special? And it is that blue tongue that he just stuck out, if you saw it. Oh, you guys see it there? Look at that tongue. Isn't that incredible? That beautiful blue tongue. All right, Mr. Benjamin, thank you so much for being our star today. Y'all, he is just the cutest and sweetest guy. Look at him sticking out his beautiful tongue for us to capture today. He's amazing. And we're so glad that all of you have joined in to check him out. So every Monday and Friday, we are going to be doing a live Critter Connection where you get to see different creatures, get to see their habitats here at the museum, and get to learn from expert explorers. Here is Expert Explorer Krysan. Thank you for hosting us today. We so appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, and thank you guys for joining us. I am glad that you had a chance to meet the blue-tongued skink. Because he is one of our newer animals, he doesn't come out a whole bunch, so this is always good to get him kind of socialized.
Yes. And I'm Grace Leah. You guys make Mondays and Fridays the absolute best days of the week. Stay brilliant and stay kind, friends. We will see you next time. Bye-bye for now.